Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cabin Crafts. My name is Candy, and as you can see, we've got my little tree here with some of the ornaments that we've made in the past with our air dry clay, and we're going to continue that theme today. Make something very simple that the kiddies will love to do. This won't take long at all. The longest it takes is to air dry the clay. So again, we're going to start with our wonderful air dry clay. And you can see I've got a bunch of these already made on the tree, and these are dry. And so we're going to take just a pinch. I told you this stuff goes a really long way. You can make a lot of stuff with this. Lots of ornaments, lots of fun stuff. So we're just going to make a ball. And then we're going to, and I always like to work on wax paper because it's such a easy cleanup. Roll this in your hand like a snake, and you want to taper it at the bottom like an icicle. You know, it's fatter at the top and then it tapers down, and you'll come up with something like that. You can see it's really wet. And then I just went to, right now the Christmas departments in the stores are all open, and I've got 120 of these silver ornament hooks for 98 cents. Again, very reasonable craft to do. So we're just going to, while this clay is wet, we're just going to feed that through there and just kind of mush it on there so that it's going to stick. And you don't want to hang them while they're wet because it'll just pull right through. So we're going to lay him down, and he's going to dry that way. And the cool thing about these is the more imperfect they are, the better they look. So kids are going to really like doing this, and they all know how to roll snakes with clay. I mean, they all do it. So then the next step is, when this is dry, you just need some white craft paint. This is just that cheap 98 cents apple barrel white paint. We're just going to give it a little squirt in here in my little paint pan. Get a brush. We're going to base coat that with our white. It looks white on camera because of the air dry clay, but it's not quite white. So you're just going to base coat that whole thing all over. And that's the other thing I like about wax paper, is you can lay wet paint on it and it won't stick. It'll peel right back up. So you don't have to worry about your ornaments sticking when you lay them down wet. They're just going to stay, they'll just peel right back up. So after you get it base coated, we'll take one that's dry and base coated. So here's one that's dry, and they can be any length. I mean, you know, icicles are long and short, and it'll make your tree more interesting if it's not, everything doesn't look extremely uniform. So then our next thing that we're going to do is, I've got Mod Podge here. I use this a lot, so that's why I buy it. I know it's kind of expensive, but you can actually make your own Mod Podge. I think with 50% Elmer's white glue, your kids' school glue, and water, 50% water, like half and half. Make it kind of thin. And we're just going to get another paintbrush here. And you're going to coat the whole thing with Mod Podge. So we're going to get it all coated with some of the glue. And you'll know if you didn't get it all coated because the glitter won't stick. Again, put something on your table that you don't care if it gets paint and glue and glitter on it. Some old vinyl tablecloth or something. Coat the whole thing in your glue. Move that out of the way. Now the next product I have is really a very neat thing. I'm going to lay this down and we'll talk about it a little bit. I have in my bowl here, these are Mica flakes. And mica is a natural mineral. It flakes off in flat, really thin, like shale. And it flakes very easily. And so they take that and they grind it up. And it's this beautiful, makes this beautiful antique looking glitter. There's even black spots in there that looks like pepper, but that's the natural stone. And so this would have been used on early Christmas ornaments, like from Germany prior to World War II. That beautiful glitter that it's just gorgeous. It's antique looking. And I ordered this online, and you want to get natural mica. It's not real expensive, it's just not easy to find. So I sprinkle a little bit in my bowl, and I'm going to hold my glued icicle up here. And you just cover the whole thing with that beautiful mica. And then when you let them dry, they're ready to hang on the tree. Another thing you can do if you do invest in the mica flakes is, if you do have antique Christmas ornaments like from your grandparents or your family, and they've been passed down from generation to generation, and they're kind of looking a little worn and they've lost their glitter, you can reapply and revive your antique Christmas ornaments, those beautiful blown glass Christmas ornaments, with this wonderful mica. I just love it. I use it on a lot of my crafts if I really want them to look old world style and antique. And so you can get mica online. It's spelled M-I-C-A. So that is mica flakes. I use that a lot. If you don't want to go through all of that trouble, you can just get regular glitter, and it'll still be cute. The kids will still love it. But I just love this antique old world look. So now we have our finished tree. We've got all the ornaments that we've made in our videos so far. The redware ornaments, remember those, and the salt glaze. And just to recap this a little bit, when I posted this video, there was a few questions people had, especially about the salt glaze. Just to remind you, the redware, I took a piece with me to the big hardware store, and I got a sample of Valspar mixed, and it came out to match chocolate cherry. Chocolate cherry is what matched my redware. So that's the base coat, and then the other three colors are like a Dijon mustard, an olive green called English Navy, or English Ivy, I'm sorry, and then black. And then the salt glaze, this was really confusing to folks, and I guess I just really wasn't clear on that, but this is just two colors. It's just country gray and English Navy, so that's like a navy blue. So those are the two colors of salt glaze, is gray and cobalt. And that's all I did. I base coated them gray, and then the little accents are done with the cobalt. So that's what makes those look like salt glaze ornaments. And then of course we have our beautiful Moravian stars that I made on the other video. Those are actually available online on my website. So if you want to go to www.scoppe, and it's spelled SHOPPE.com, they're on my website for $3.75 each. I made them myself, every one of them. They are dipped in wax, and then I've sprinkled them with those beautiful mica flakes while the wax was still wet. So a handmade ornament for $3.75. You can get those on my website. So there's our handmade Christmas tree. Your kids would love this, especially one this size. I don't remember where I got this tree. I've had it a long time, but let them make their own Christmas tree and put it in their room with all their handmade ornaments. They would absolutely love that, and something to pass down from generation to generation. These icicle ornaments are probably not the sturdiest things, so you might want to make a lot because they might break easy, especially if they get a little too rough with them, but they'll at least last you this Christmas. And if you got to make them again next Christmas, so be it. That'll be fun to go all over again. So there you go. There's all of our clay ornaments and our Moravian stars. And I hope you do these, and thank you for watching.